welcome to another pen video from me, Penultimate Dave. So I have here another pen to unbox and review. You can see here it does say Parker and it's established in 1888. Comes in this nice box and you do have Her Majesty the Queen. So this is an older pen. Not too old though, it's not a vintage. So I think let's unbox this and you'll see that it is a Parker Duofold, and it says here the emblem of Parker's heritage, a symbol of excellence since 1921. Duofold remains the most distinguished pen in Parker's discerning lineage. Driven by a commitment to superior craftsmanship, every detail of Duofold is carefully thought out and executed. From the emblematic design of the ace emblazoned 18-karat solid gold nib to the precious metal finishes, each piece is meticulously brought together by hand to ensure the finest writing experience. So I think if I just lift this plinth, you'll see that it comes with a care book, and this is the Parker care book here. And you get a couple of cartridges, and you also get the pen. So I think let's remove the box out of the way, and we'll zoom in a little bit more and I'll show you that pen. So this is the Parker, and this is a Duofold Prestige Burgundy Chevron. Now, I have the black chevron, I have a blue chevron, actually the blue one came first, then the black, and then this burgundy I also got along with the ruthenium chisel. So this, you can see it has Parker Duofold there on the cap finial. You've got the feather clip, which I always find quite useful. And then you have this lovely chevron pattern. This is in the burgundy or burgundy colour. So you can see that from the cap finial there, it tapers in slightly, but then tapers out. And then it's pretty much cylindrical until you get to the cap band, which does say Parker there, and then tapers down slightly and drops off onto the body. Again, very cylindrical until you get to what would be the blind cap, and then it tapers in slightly, and there's really nothing there on the end cap or the blind cap. If I unscrew the cap, you'll see it's a number 6 size Parker Duofold Ace of Spades nib, and it's a lovely two-tone colour there. Now, I didn't get the choice to buy this with the nib that I wanted. So it came with an X. An X means extra fine. And I don't normally do extra fine, as you probably know. Very rare do I do extra fine nibs. But I wanted this pen, and I could get this pen with a medium nib, but it was a couple of hundred more, so I didn't want to pay that. And if I unscrew the section, you'll see it does come with a Parker converter there. You do have an O-ring there. You can't fill this with ink, but there is an O-ring there that just helps to make that a tight fit when you screw it down, like so. But it's a nice pen, and I do like the Prestiges. So I decided, with my infinite wisdom, that I would buy this with an extra fine nib. If I didn't like it, I could probably swap it out, or I could buy another nib. I got it for a good price, so even if I bought it with a medium nib, it would still be slightly cheaper than the one that I was looking at with a medium nib. So I figured that I would just buy this as an extra fine nib and I would give it a try. But I love these chevrons, and now I think I've got the entire set. Not that I'm normally a set collector of pens or models, but I did kind of think that I would like the Burgundy at some point. So I think with that, let's do a size check, we'll do a weight check, we'll do a pen comparison, then we'll do a writing sample. So the full length of the pen, we are looking at about 138 millimeters in length. The length of the cap, we're looking about 63 millimeters in length. And we'll take a look at the body from the tip of the nib or tip of the tines. We're looking about 130 millimeters in length. Now, 130 millimeters is what I would class as an oversized pen. And I think you can see that in the size of my hand there, that it is definitely an oversized pen. If you're holding it on the section, if you hold it on the threads, it's still an oversized pen. You can just about get away with it. It's not the longest of pens, but it's still fairly long. Now, you can post that cap and it will post securely, but it makes it a real wand. So I don't normally post my caps for that reason. It will add a lot of weight to the back of the pen. So from that perspective, I typically do not do that. But you can see here that this pattern is really nice. It's a pattern that I like a lot, and I wish that Parker would bring out more prestiges in different colours. I could see a turquoise colour coming out. I could see a green. I think there could be some really good colours, but it seems to me that Parker have now stopped making these, unfortunately. So maybe they'll resurrect it at some point in the future. So I think with that, let's do a weight check. Now this is a heavy pen for sure. It's made out of a brass body. So the full weight of the pen, you're looking at just over 52 grams in weight. The weight of the cap is just under 17 grams in weight. And try not to drop the pen. The weight of the body is, it's going to roll, it's not going to, there you go. Just over 35 grams in weight. So it's quite a weighty pen. Not the heaviest pen that I have in my collection, but it is still quite weighty. It's a beautiful pen. I like the look of it. The nib I'm going to have to see. I might have to swap the nib out. So I think with that, let's do a comparison with other pens. So from left to right, we have the Magna Carta Mag 600 in the Azure. We have a Benu Euphoria Earl Grey Tea. We have a Parker Duofold, and this is a Centennial Godwin in gold. We have a Parker Duofold Centennial Godwin in silver. We have the Parker Prestige Burgundy Chevron. We have an Asvine V126. We have a Magna Carta Mag 600 in the Obsidian. We have a Parker Prestige Ruthenium Chisel. We have an Anoto University of Oxford. And then we have a Anoto, and this is the Charles Dickens David Copperfield. So I think let's now go and do a writing sample. So this is the Parker, and this is the Prestige, and it's the Burgundy Chevron, and it is an extra fine nib, and it's an 18 karat gold nib. Now I have smoothed this nib out a little bit because it was a little bit too extra fine for me, and I'd say it's writing a little bit more, certainly more like a fine, if not towards a medium, which is better for me. I don't like extra fine nibs. The ink in here today is Diamine Ochre. In terms of line variation, I definitely think it is still under no pressure an extra fine nib. If I start to apply a bit of pressure, I can get more of a fine nib out of it. And then you can see there, I'm actually getting a little bit more lines. I think the cross strokes are actually, it's almost turned into a little bit of an architect nib, I think. And I think I can see that in the capitals here. Now, if I continue the downstrokes, there's no hard starts or skips, which is good. Now, in terms of ink wetness, let's take a look at this. You can see it's putting down a nice wet line. And then we'll do a cross stroke here as well. So it is actually quite wet for an extra fine nib. I do think that that is actually not bad. It was writing a little bit more narrower until I did take a little bit of micro mesh to that nib. I didn't increase the ink flow because the ink flow was actually pretty good out of the box. What do I like? What do I not like about this pen? Well, I love the Parker Duofold Centennials and also the Prestige pens. I've got a blue chevron, as I said. I've got a black chevron. I now have the Burgundy Chevron, and I also have the Ruthenium Chisel as well. So I really do like these pens. I like the size in the Centennial, and this is a Centennial size, not the international size, which is a bit shorter and a bit thinner. A little bit going from like a Pelican M1000 down to an M800, or an M800 to an M600. So I do like the size of this. I do like the weight, and I do like the colour and the chevron pattern as well. What do I dislike about this pen? It's really subjective, but the only thing that, if I had the option, I would have gone with a medium nib. I saw this for a really good price with an extra fine nib, so I decided to jump at it. I don't actually mind it so bad that this nib is writing a little bit more now towards a fine or medium, but I probably would have still preferred to have bought a medium or a broad nib for this. But that's really the only thing that I would say that I dislike about this pen. I love the pen in every other way. It's just I'm more of a medium nib guy or a broad nib. So there you have it. That's my unboxing review of the Parker Prestige Burgundy Chevron with an extra fine 18 karat gold nib. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next pen video. Bye bye.